We here, man. Urban AI strategic thinking media platform. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this video, man. I'm prepared for it. That's not the reason that I'm doing this. The reason that I'm doing this is number one, I enjoy making content about Kendrick and Drake. That's the number one reason I'm doing this. But number two, the number two reason that I'm making this video is I'm seeing a lot of people like I don't really see enough people breaking it down objectively. I think a lot of the things that I see, the majority of the things that I'm seeing is Drake hate and the constant celebration of Kendrick, which is cool. That's cool. I don't have a problem with that. Um, Not Like Us is an amazing song. I'm gonna say that forever because it's a great song. But the and again, before I go any further, I'm not doing this to change anybody's opinion. This is my opinion. This is my platform. I'm giving my opinion. There's nobody up here talking but me. So you're gonna get my opinion on this. Okay. So the reason that I made this video wasn't to change anybody's opinion. I don't want anybody to think like me. I'm an independent thinker, so I wouldn't want other people to think like me. If you share my opinion or if you agree with me, that's cool. If you disagree with me, get in the comments and let me know. That's always appreciated and welcome. But again, it's not, I don't want you to think like this. I'm not trying to change people's thought process. That's something that's nearly impossible to do. And I don't get anything from it. Me changing your opinion about this, I don't get anything from it. There's nothing for me to gain by me changing anybody's opinion. So I'm not making this to make you see things how I see it. I'm making this to express myself because it's my platform. All right. So that's why I'm making this video. Another reason that I'm making this video is I'm I'm a hip hop connoisseur. All right. I would classify myself as that. And I've seen a lot of battles, y'all. I've seen a lot of hip hop battles. This is the greatest one that I've ever seen, probably by far. I don't think that's a stretch saying that. This is the greatest hip hop battle that I've seen ever by far. And I feel like Kendrick has all, I don't want to say this, damn, I'm gonna sound like a hater, but I feel like Kendrick has almost tricked people, not into necessarily thinking that he won, because the consensus is that he did win. If you say Kendrick won, nobody can argue otherwise. I want to get that out the way too. I'm not saying Drake won. I feel like Drake had the best diss song. I feel like Family Matters is the best song out of all of these. And by the way, this Wikipedia page is great. It's got all the information right here for us. So we're going to be utilizing that today. But of all these songs that we see, Family Matters is my favorite song. All right. I think that's the best song. That's the song that I listen to the most. Does that mean that Drake won? No. No, that doesn't mean Drake won. Um, and this video is not me saying that Drake won. Okay. I'm saying simply Drake has my favorite song in the whole back and forth this. Personally, Family Matters is my favorite song. Again, that doesn't mean Drake won. That just means that out of the whole battle, I feel like Drake made the best music. Kendrick songs are great too, but like I said, this is not about me trying to change anybody's opinion, or it's not me trying to um change the narrative or give y'all reasons why Drake won. The people say Kendrick won. That's who won. Because what the people say matter when it comes to hip hop battles, when it comes to looking over, the finality of things. All right. But I said that to say, when I say that Kendrick, I feel like he tricked the people. I feel like that he used timing in such a way, and that's a big thing in this, y'all. The timing that Kendrick used for multiple things, the timing is how he won. Okay. And I was talking to somebody and I used this phrase. I said Kendrick won because of his timing, not because of his rhyming. Does that mean that Kendrick can't rap? No. Does that mean that Kendrick's songs were whack? No. They were great. They were excellent. Not Like Us is a great song. Not a big fan of Meet the Grams. I'll get into why. Euphoria is a great song. Great songs. Okay. 616 in LA is a good song. So 616 in LA is a good song. I think Meet the Grams is a bad song. Not Like Us is an amazing song. Euphoria is an amazing song. And the only reason that I say Meet the Grams is a bad song or I don't like the song is because of the content. Nothing about Kendrick's, and I just use the word rhyming because it rhymes with timing. And that kind of, it's actually not his words. Kendrick is a wordsmith. He's a masterful rapper. It really doesn't get much better than that. The content of Meet the Grams is what I don't like. Kendrick can rap about anything and it's gonna sound good. So I want to put that out there now. When I say he won because of his timing and not his rhyming. When I say not his rhyming, I'm using that just to say the songs weren't the main reason that he won. Now, some people might think that's not the case. Some people might feel like, well, he just killed Drake with his songs and his disses were just so cutthroat. No. Pusha T's disses were way more raw and graphic than Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar, and like I said, I don't want to sound like a hater, but listen to the songs, y'all. Kendrick Lamar basically just said the same stuff over and over again. All right, but because he's such a good rapper, it sounded good. The beats were good. That's another thing too. The production was good. 616 in LA, Euphoria, hard beats. Not Like Us, incredible beat. Great beat. It's impossible to not dance to that song. We're seeing people that's cool with Drake in the club dancing to that song. It's hard not to dance to that song, no matter how much you like Kendrick, no matter how much you like Drake. Not Like Us, his flow too, not just the beat, y'all. And I'm gonna give Kendrick his flowers before I really get into it, because I want y'all gonna hear me say a bunch of good shit first. So y'all can't get in the comments and say I'm a hater. Y'all gonna hear me say a bunch of good things first. Not only is Not Like Us beat crazy, but y'all gotta understand something about rap. When you have a beat that's good, right? Your flow matters on the beat. There are certain parts where you're supposed to stop talking. There's parts where you're supposed to talk low, and then there are parts where you can talk high. When Kendrick Lamar says, all eyes on me and I'ma send it up the pot, how his voice gets, it gets gradually higher and amped up before the beat drops. That's hard, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Things like that. When you hear that part, it's hard not to repeat that part. It's hard not to dance right there. When he says, still trolling like a bitch, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor. The way he says that, the flow of that, it makes you want to repeat it. It makes you want to dance. Those two examples that I just gave are anticipating parts of the song. Those parts are anticipated by the listeners. You could hear that song 50 times. You're still going to anticipate those two parts. And you're going to sing along with it, or you're going to dance when the beat drops at those times. Things like that, it's nothing that I can say about that. The execution there is 10 out of 10. Make no mistake about it. So I can never say these songs were whack. Never. I would be lying. Great songs. Like I said, not just the beat, the way he's flowing on these songs, the way, like I said, he's changing his octave in his voice. It's going up and down, through, in and out of the beat. How Jay-Z in his early, some of y'all too young, but Jay-Z in his early days talking about letting the beat breathe. That's what he means. You see an example of it with Not Like Us, because that's a beat that could overpower some artists. Kendrick didn't let it overpower him. Obviously, he's a veteran, but I'm just, giving an example. I'm giving him his flowers early because the majority of this video is going to sound like I'm hating on Kendrick, and I'm not. I just realized things that most hip hop artists don't, or excuse me, most hip hop fans don't. And I want to ask y'all this, man. Get in the comments and y'all let me know. You feel like Kendrick won. Cool. That's fine. Why did he win, y'all? I want y'all to get in the comments and let me know. And I'm just, even if you don't want to make a comment, if you watching along, if you following this video, just think in your mind, if I was in front of you, or anybody was in front of you, and y'all was having a conversation about Kendrick and Lamar, excuse me, the Kendrick and Drake beef, which I do a lot. I have a lot of conversations about this beef still. And somebody asked you, who won? You said Kendrick won. And they said, why? What would you say? Just think about it for a minute. If they said why, what made Kendrick win? What would you say? Would you say Not Like Us is why he won? Would you, even if you didn't think that was a song, would you say Euphoria? Whether it was a song, Not Like Us, Euphoria. Is it a bar? Is it a specific bar? Is it the beat to Not Like Us? What is it? What do you say? Why do you think Kendrick won? Let me tell y'all what I think. And again, my opinion. Not trying to change anybody's opinion. Not trying to get you to have my opinion. If everybody had the same opinion, there would be no YouTube, right? It would be no bloggers because everybody would think the same. I feel like everybody should voice their opinion. I wrote a book in 2020 called Bandemic. I spent a whole chapter telling people to start YouTubes. Everybody should have a YouTube. If you can communicate, you should have a YouTube. You notice I didn't even say if you could read. I said if or you could talk. If you can communicate, you should have a YouTube. Everybody on the planet should have a YouTube. Now they're not, but that's just how I feel. I don't even know if YouTube, I don't even know if YouTube could exist if everybody on the planet had one. I'm just saying that, I'm just showing how vast the reach of YouTube is, and how if there's something that you're interested in, there's other people that are interested in it too. And even if they don't agree with you, the dialogue that is created is important. And YouTube is important. So I said that all to say I'm pro opinions. I'm pro opinion. So I don't want you to have my opinion. That's not what this is about. I want everybody with all type of opinions to let me know what they think, leave a comment, and let me know how you feel about what I'm saying. But back to the original question. Why did Kendrick Lamar win this battle? I'm going to say it's the timing. It's the timing. He waited until the perfect time to attack Drake. Kendrick Lamar, besides the Atlanta part in Not Like Us, breaking down the Atlanta part, he did not say anything that we haven't heard. Do y'all understand that? Everything that he said about Drake, we've heard it before. Nothing new, nothing revolutionary, nothing that was really shocking besides the daughter thing, which I don't know. Some people still believe that, y'all. Some people still think Drake has a 12 or 13-year-old daughter somewhere. I don't know how somebody could say that with no proof and people still believe it. And I know what y'all are gonna say. Well, Drake said one of Kendrick's kids might be Dave Freeze. He did, y'all, but he said that a little bit more tactfully than what Kendrick said. He said, I heard one of them little kids might be. So heard and might. He didn't say, I know one of them little kids is. He said heard and might instead of know and is. I'm going to say that again. He said, I heard and might. He said heard and might instead of know and is. So even if Drake just made that up, right? Even if he just made that up, let's say he was in the studio, he was like, man, I got to get it, this nigga Kendrick, I got to think of something. And he just made that lie up. He pulled that lie straight out the sky. He never heard it before. He just said it on the record. He just said it. He still left himself a little leeway if it's not true. Or, excuse me, if he made it up, he knows it's not true. But he still left himself a little leeway if he gets accused of being a liar, y'all. Everybody's lied before. Kendrick, and this is hip hop. This is hip hop. So if Kendrick is lying, that's fine. I'm not gonna say that's fine, but it's a hip hop battle. You can lie. Rappers lie all the time. Rappers consistently lie. Rappers probably lie more than any profession outside of being a lawyer. Nothing is new. And I'm not saying everything Drake. I'm not saying, well, Drake said might and heard, so that means he's not lying. No. It could still be a lie. When it's a hip hop battle like this, you can lie. That's okay. I don't have the issue with the lie. I have an issue with and the type of lie. If it's a lie that you can kind of sidestep, Drake left himself some space to wiggle out of that. If somebody came to him like, hey, you lying about this, he could say, well, I heard it. And I said might. I don't know for sure. Kendrick made a whole verse to a child, basically saying that he knows that Drake has a daughter. And that's something, that type of lie, I feel like you need proof. You need proof. You're saying that an actual person exists, but you don't reveal the person. He could have at least revealed the mom, or he could have at least mentioned the mom or something to kind of let us know that what he was saying was true. But regardless, okay, let's say they're both lies. We'll say they're both lies, right? Drake's lie, I feel, was a strategically better lie. it's a lie that it doesn't really, you don't really have to have proof because the child that he's referring to is already here. Now, nobody's gonna if Kendrick, if there was proof, okay, let's say for whatever reason Kendrick got a paternity test when his kids were born and Kendrick and his wife know both of the kids are Kendrick and there's proof of it, we would never see that proof, right? We wouldn't even expect to see that proof. Why would it's not like Kendrick is gonna post even if he had DNA results, it's not like he's gonna post the DNA results. That would be weird for him to post the DNA results saying, hey, look, see, both the kids are mine. Look at these DNA results. So again, no one's expecting that. That's what I'm saying. That's why Drake's lie was a little bit more tactful. Kendrick's lie, however, after he said what he said, everybody was looking for a child. People were expecting to see a child somewhere. It never happened. No child came forward. No mom came forward. It's kind of like he said that. He got the shock value he wanted. It went away. Now, dropping Not Like Us after that was a great plan because people forgot about it. And good thing he just made it one verse and not a whole song. Because I think that song would have aged worse if the whole song was about the daughter. People still like Meet the Grimes. And I'm going to get into why I don't like that in a minute. But sticking to this topic in this particular example that I'm using, they both lied, seemingly. Now, if in 3 to 4 years a daughter emerges that lines up with that age that Kendrick mentioned, that'll be a different story, y'all. I'll say that right now. That'll be a different story. It'll be a whole nother situation. And I'll be the first to make content about it, not walking back, but correcting myself. Because I feel that matters. The fact that there's no daughter matters. And another thing with Kendrick's timing, Kendrick could not face Drake alone. He could not face Drake by himself. He couldn't do it, y'all. Feud has been going on since 2013, 2014, 2015. And people call you the boogeyman, but you didn't directly diss Drake until you seen other people were on the Drake hate train. Why would you not engage him yourself? Why does nobody speak on that? You're the boogeyman, right? That, and again, I've said this on other content before. Before the Drake battle, no one thought Kendrick was the boogeyman. It's a cool name. It's a cool name, but he hadn't directly engaged anybody. Pusha T went right at Drake. He didn't wait till he had help. He wasn't sneak dissing him or we can say he was sneak dissing him, but those disses were pretty direct. I mean, he was basically saying everything but the word Drake in his disses. Everybody knew Pusha T was dissing Drake. He went right at him. At a time where Drake was more liked than when Kendrick dissed Drake, people were tired of Drake being on top. Let's be real. People were waiting for something to happen to Drake. People were waiting. And Kendrick Lamar's a perfect person. Even Meek Mill. He didn't wait until the time was right. He didn't wait years and hide in the bushes for years and just be secretly mad. And then when he seen other people have an issue, then he just hopped out the bushes like, ah. Meek Mill, was he on drugs? Probably. But he had an issue. He seen something he didn't like, and he addressed it directly. He didn't wait for years. He didn't drop a whole bunch of sneak disses. He didn't, you know what I'm saying, wait until his friends didn't, or it was a whole bunch of built up animosity towards this person. And he didn't go in the studio with a whole bunch of other people and say, hey, let's make this song to take down this guy. Blah, blah, blah. No, he didn't. Like I said, he was probably under the influence of some substances. But nonetheless, he was by himself. He said, look, Drake did something I don't like, whether it was having a ghostwriter or, you know, fucking Nicki or I think him and Nick, whatever it is. I don't even know the issue that Meek Mill originally had with Drake. Either way, regardless of what it was, he didn't wait. He didn't need reinforcements. He didn't need a whole bunch of people with him. He had it. He seen an issue that he have. He went to the booth and got busy. Now, whether he won that battle or not, most people will say he lost. But he still did what he had to do by himself in a timely fashion. Kendrick Lamar waited for years and years and years, barely dropping music. Let me not say barely dropping music, but dropping a handful of projects, features here and there. But the timing, I don't know who brought this about. I don't know whose idea it was, if it was Metro Boomers, if it was Weekends, whatever the case, whose ever idea it was. Kendrick seen an opportunity. And he said, this is the time. Kendrick, if you're the boogeyman, why didn't you just drop a diss one day? Out of the blue. That's some real boogeyman shit, y'all. That would have been some real boogeyman shit. To just us wake up one day and it be a diss from Kendrick by himself. Him getting on like that, to me, it kind of watered the moment down a little bit. Not a lot, but when he did that, it, for me, and like I said, I've been listening to rap a long time. I've been listening to hip hop a long time. A long, long time. Some of the first music that I ever comprehended was hip hop. When I was old enough to digest words and understand what words meant, that's when I started listening to hip hop. So I'm saying that to say, to me, when I heard Kendrick diss Drake on like that, I already kind of took points off, because I knew. Let me say this: I knew it was on at that point. I knew a Kendrick song was coming. I knew it was. I knew multiple Kendrick songs was coming and multiple Drake songs were coming. Because if you know the history back to 2013, 2014, you know. So when I heard his verse on like that, I knew it was coming. I knew I would hear a full Kendrick diss to Drake and a full Drake diss to Kendrick, with them specifically talking about each other. I knew it was coming. But for it to start like that with a whole bunch of other people, like, to me, that made Drake look even more powerful. Or it made Kendrick look like he needed help. And that's why I'm sharing my perspective, because when other people seen it, they took it as all these people don't like Drake. Drake has done something to all these people. Maybe that's a possibility. I'm not saying that's not true. But when I first heard the song, the first thing that came to my mind was Kendrick can't beat Drake by himself. Why is he on a feature doing this? That's the first thing that I thought. That's the first thing that came to my mind. That's just me. It's an opinion, and it's an opinion. It's an opinion, and it's just a perspective. Nothing is wrong with my perspective. Nothing is wrong with your perspective. If when you heard like that, as soon as that song ended, if the first thing that came to your head was, man, Drake must be dirty because all these niggas don't like him, that is 100% feasible. I can't argue that. That's 100% feasible, and it makes sense. But for me, personally, the first thing that I thought was, why are you doing this on a feature, Kendrick? Aren't you the boogeyman? Why are you doing this on a feature? Isn't everybody supposed to be scared of you? Why are you doing this on a feature? Why are y'all making like a group song about him? It's different perspectives. It's just different perspectives. So there was that timing again. Also, the fact that Kendrick releases music so rarely or seldomly, that is a big thing too. Think about it. He said it in Family Matters. The first verse of the last song, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now. What do y'all think that line means? Why do you think Drake said that as the first line to the song? Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now. Why do y'all think he said that? He said that because he knew once Kendrick releases multiple consecutive songs, it's going to be really hard for people to not like them. When someone like that, who so much time passes in between releases, whatever they say, people are going to love. I know it sounds like I'm hating. It sounds like I'm making an excuse. That's the truth, y'all. Let's look at Kendrick Lamar discography. He has 5 studio albums, y'all. Section 80, 2011. Good Kid, Mad City, 2012. 3 years later, To Pimp a Butterfly. 2 years later, Damn. 5 years later, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. So I'm gonna let y'all look at this real quick. So from 2011 to 2022, Kendrick Lamar has dropped 5 studio albums. Why do y'all think J. Cole, you on 7 Minute Drill, which J. Cole should have never deleted that song, He should have never apologized, because how you feel about Kendrick, that nigga don't feel that way about you. Either way, why do y'all think J. Cole used that one hot album every 10 years average? I forget if he used that, but he used the whole thing that Jay-Z went at Nas about dissing him for rarely putting out music. Why do y'all feel like J. Cole felt like it applied to Kendrick Lamar? Whether he apologized about it or not, that's how he felt. Whether he apologized about it or not, that's how he felt. Y'all know what he felt bad about? He felt bad about saying it and putting it in a song and recording it, because recordings live forever. So he might not feel like it was a good idea to talk about it in 3 to 4 years. That's why he deleted it. But he felt that way because that's what he said. He went in a booth and he said it. So that's how he felt. That's how he feels. He regrets making a song about it. Why did he feel comfortable comparing him to Nas in that perspective? Now let's take a look at Drake discography. So we got that 2011 to 2022 5 albums. 2011 to 2022 five albums. I want y'all to keep that in the forefront of your mind. (2011 to 2022). We're not gonna count Thank Me Later because that came out in 2010. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a collaboration album. 8. And then where is More Life? More Life ain't even on here. So 9. Where the fuck is More Life? Okay, so 2011 to 20, or we can say 2023. Because Kendrick Lamar hasn't dropped anything in 2023. 2011 to 2020. Hold on, when did Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers come out? Was that 2023? Oh yeah, I'm thinking about 2024. No, it didn't. It came out in 2022. So yes, I was right. He didn't drop anything in 2023. So 2011 to 2024, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. 2011 to 2024, 5 projects. Drake, 2011 to 2024, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 9 projects for Drake in the same amount of time. So 2011 to 2024, 9 projects for Drake. 2011 to 2024, 5 projects for Kendrick Lamar. Is this the clown Kendrick Lamar? No. Am I telling Kendrick Lamar that he need to speed up his recording process? No, I'm not even saying that. The man has classics. So there's nothing wrong with his recording process from that perspective. Or it's nothing wrong with it, period. Let me take that back. It's nothing wrong with it, period. I'm because that's how he makes music. And when you're as successful as he is with music, Damn is one of my favorite albums. I'm not gonna say it's in my top 5 or top 10. I listen to Damn to this day. To Pimp a Butterfly is cool. I have the vinyl To Pimp a Butterfly. I've had it for years. So I've consumed Kendrick Lamar's albums. I know them. It's Kendrick Lamar songs I know word for word. I listen to Kendrick, not as much as Drake. I know a whole lot of Drake songs word for word. I'm not gonna say I know a lot of Kendrick Lamar songs word for word, but I know multiple Kendrick Lamar songs word for word. There are Kendrick Lamar songs that when I'm exercising or when I'm on the way to work or on my lunch break or when I'm coming back from work, I'm listening to. It's a good vibe. Several, not as many as Drake songs, but you get the point. The point I'm trying to make is this is not an indictment on Kendrick's recording process because he has classics. So if he never wants to change that, then he shouldn't. What I'm doing this for, is to show y'all how one has flooded the market with music and the other one seldomly releases music. Why does that matter? Because you're gonna get two completely different reactions when they face off against each other. You're gonna get two different reactions. Who do you think's music is gonna be celebrated more? The guy who has flooded the music ecosystem with albums and songs, or the guy who people rarely hear from? Who do y'all think is going to be celebrated more? Who do you think the burden is going to be on to be? Now, that's two different questions. Who do you think is going to be celebrated more is one question. And who do you think the burden is going to be on to deliver is the other question. I know who I think. I think Drake is going to have to, his disses were going to have to be like over the top amazing for them to stand shoulder to shoulder with Kendrick's. Kendrick Lamar goes so long without releasing music, people are just happy he's releasing music. And that showed. That showed. The timing was everything for him. It was everything. People were so thirsty to, and I'm not gonna say I was thirsty, but when he dropped like that, even though I knew more was coming, I even said to myself, damn, it's gonna be hard for Drake to win this. I swear to you. I said that to my when I seen how people reacted to that one verse on like that. I kind of already knew Kendrick was probably gonna win. No bullshit. I kid you not. And it not to sound like I'm a know-it-all, but it's because I know rap. And I know when someone like Kendrick just pops on the scene unexpectedly like that, the shock value of that will go a long, long way. I knew it. Once I heard like that, I said, if when he makes a Drake this, people are gonna love it just because it's Kendrick Lamar consistently making music. Once I seen the reaction from like that, I said, Drake better have something crazy planned. Like this dude better have 5 to 7 straight kill shot songs lined up. Because that's the only way he was gonna win. That's the only way he was gonna win. Because Kendrick Lamar's presence alone, just him being on the scene, made people excited. And you're going to get, and as Kendrick Lamar, you're going to get someone who people hear on the radio every single day. People see on the internet every single day. People hear on TikTok every single day. Am I the only one who feel this way? And I'm not saying I thought Drake wouldn't win or I didn't think he stood a chance. I just knew it's like if you run in a race and somebody got a head start. I felt like Kendrick had a head start, and maybe he didn't. That's not his fault. That's not Kendrick Lamar's fault. So maybe that was a bad analogy. But the point I'm making is I felt like once Like That dropped, Drake was already down like 10 points. Just Kendrick Lamar, just the shock value of Kendrick Lamar just being back on the scene that abruptly, that aggressively had already put Drake behind the 8 ball. And that's the timing thing that I'm talking about. Now, I've been talking for 45 minutes. I haven't even got to the second thing. This is not going to be a really long live, but it may go a little bit over an hour. Because there's another reason, right? Now that we got timing out of the way, Drake's timing being on top, people were tired of him. People were thirsty for Kendrick. Think about it, y'all. Think about it. Think about where Drake was at that when Like That dropped, the day before Like That dropped. Think about where Drake was with the people, with the fans, with the young people and casual rap fans. And think about where Kendrick was. One of them had seemingly overstayed their welcome. The other one don't show up enough. That right there matters, y'all. Do y'all see that? Do y'all understand that? How much that matters in a situation like this? They're both great rappers. They both have classics. They're both legendary MCs. So little things like that is what's going to decide who wins. None of these guys is going to out rap or rap circles around the other one. That's not going to happen. They're both way too skilled. They're both going to make great songs. They both did make great songs. One of them isn't just going to get on a beat and kill another one. They're both way too good. So we have to pay attention to the small things. That's going to decide who won. And that's what Kendrick did. Drake was oversaturated in rap. People were tired of him. And people were wishing Kendrick dropped more. Who do you think has the upper hand in a beef? Of course, the guy that people don't think is around enough. Not the guy that we're already tired of. He's going to have to work extra hard in order to win. That's the first thing. And I promise y'all the second reason is not going to take me 48 minutes to explain. Now that we got the timing out of the way, that's one of the reasons when we go back to the title, why Kendrick Lamar's victory was not as impressive to me as other hip hop fans. It was the timing. Like I said, it was more about the timing than the rhyming. Him coming on the scene abruptly with other people while Drake was kind of overstaying his welcome on the charts, on the radios, on TikTok, on Instagram. When you scroll the internet, how often do you hear Drake in people's stories, TikTok, all that stuff? Instagram, a lot, right? A lot. The second reason, which is maybe even more important, Kendrick had a blueprint. Kendrick used Joe Budden and Pusha T's blueprint. That's all he did. Do y'all understand how closely Kendrick Lamar mimicked Joe Budden and Pusha T? I don't think people do because people don't talk about him. I'm the only one. But see, it make me feel like I'm hating or I'm being looked at as a hater because and maybe I'm just seeing something that other people are not because I pay attention to When Joe Budden dissed Drake, a lot of people didn't give a fuck about Joe Budden, and that's a big thing too. People just don't care about Joe Budden as a rapper. That has a lot to do with it. So a lot of people didn't hear his disses, and that's not Kendrick Lamar's fault. Because Kendrick Lamar damn near said the same line that I'm gonna do you one better. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Let's do that. How about that? Where the fuck is it at? Here we go. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. We'll do this. Now we remember Kendrick Lamar, fuck all that pushing P. Let me see you push a T. Now he was referring to forget all that stuff you were saying about Pharrell, who people call P. So he's saying, why you pushing Pharrell? Fuck all that pushing P. Let me see you push a T. Joe Budden basically said the same bar, y'all. Let's find it. I want y'all to see how closely that bar resembles. I even think I would go so far to say Kendrick Lamar listened to these before he dissed Drake. He listened to Pusha T and he listened to Joe Budden. I would be willing to bet money that he did. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Another example. Get some advice. Come over, kick it, and vibe. I'm here with hotel strippers, Odell. All the shit that you like. Ain't that the angle that Kendrick used? And this is from Joe Budden, Afraid, one of my favorite disses of all time. One of the few Joe Budden songs I listen to. I probably listen to 3 Joe Budden songs. This and Focus. I do listen to Focus a lot. That's a hard song. I'm going to read it again. Get some advice. Come over, kick it, and vibe. I'm here with hotel strippers, Odell. All that shit you like. Now he Odell caught a straight air. That was what does Odell got to do with this? But you see how he's basically just saying you like strippers, you like meaningless sex, you just this type of degenerate guy. That's the same angle that Kendrick took. That's the same angle that Kendrick took. You like things that are meaningless. You have no morals. That's the same angle that Kendrick took. Let's keep it going to the actual bar. This nigga actually took a whole bar from Joe. My nigga, no wonder you're losing all your friends. Poster child now for all that you had a wall against. And tell your mans I'll be seeing him soon. He marched you right into his madness. I got reason to assume. Taking shots at his friends, taking shots at his crew. We seen Joe Budden do this 7 years ago. The same thing Kendrick did, taking shots at OVO, right? Saying how he's losing all his friends. Ain't Kendrick Lamar say that? You must deserve this. Are your friends leaving you? You must be a terrible person. You must really deserve this. It's the same thing. He copied a blueprint. Is that not clear to y'all? Or am I reaching? I don't think I'm reaching. I think Kendrick Lamar listened to these disses before he dissed Drake. Where's the one that I really want to find? Look, another one. Show up at a party next door with the noise ordinance. calling out Party Next Door, Kendrick Lamar, and Party at the party playing with his nose now. Joe Budden called out Party Next Door, or he used his name. Kendrick did too. Is this a coincidence, y'all? These disses are exactly alike. They're both great rappers, though. Joe Budden is a great rapper. He don't really make my type of music, but he's a good rapper. Kendrick Lamar is too, so it's gonna sound good. And Kendrick Lamar is from the West Coast. He put it on a West Coast beat with a different flow. It's gonna sound different. But when you break it down, when you dissect things like I'm doing now, it's the same content. These songs are based around the same things, and we haven't even got to where he uses the exact same bar. Let's keep it going. Look, here we go. Should know I'd kill him at even the slightest push of me. See, you hear him setting up a Pusha T bar already with push of me. You already know what's coming next. And when his team press up shirts, I'll help him push a T. Should it read, he pressed buttons but wouldn't push a T. Kendrick said, fuck all that pushing P. Let me see you push a T. This is the same thing, y'all. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. These are the blueprints that Kendrick used. Whether you want to admit it or not, this is very much like a lot of the things that Kendrick Lamar was saying. Do I have proof that he listened to this? Do I know for sure that he used this as the blueprint? No. But I can tell you what I think. I definitely think he did. I absolutely 100% think he did. Let's keep it going. Is there any more here? No, but let's go to Story of Adidon. And I guarantee you, we're gonna see some more similarities. Let's examine why your music for the past few years has been angry and full of lies. Kendrick came with the same angle. You're lying. Okay, now I was going to go a whole nother place with this part, but I'm long-winded already, so I'm going to speed it up and just cover them at the same time. Dennis Graham, stay off the gram, bitch. I'm on one. Okay. Dennis Graham, Drake's father. Pusha T going at Drake's father. Kendrick did the same thing. Went at Drake's father. That's why I didn't like Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams was a pointless song to me. Dedicating a whole verse to Drake's mom and then another whole verse to his dad was pointless, in my opinion. What do they have to do with anything? Why couldn't you have used those two verses to talk about Drake? I would have much rather wanted to hear that than you talk about his parents. What does Drake's parents have to do with your issues with Drake? I understand if you don't think he's a good person and you feel like, oh, well, they raised him. Man, who the fuck cares? He's a grown man. You're not his fucking middle school teacher. What are you giving his parents a speech for? That seemed, I don't know. It seemed like that was something that he seen Pusha T do. So then he decided to do it. What did Drake's parents do to Kendrick Lamar? Listen, Pusha T kind of had a reason to bring up Drake's mom. Let me read this. You mentioned wedding ring like it's a bad thing. Your father walked away at 5. Hell of a dad thing. Marriage is something that Sandy never had, Drake. You a winner, but she keep coming in last place. The wedding ring that Pusha T is referring to is when Drake said, "Let it ring on you like Virginia Williams." That's Pusha T's fiance, and he obviously he married her. So when you marry someone, you give them a ring. Okay, so he just said her name. He didn't necessarily diss her, but if you say somebody in my family's name, I don't care how you say it, it's up. So I understand why Pusha T said that. And but he brought up his parent. Pusha T brought up his parents as a direct reply to Drake bringing up his fiance. It was specific, right? Because he didn't bring them up for no reason. He said, "Well, you talk about marriage like it's a bad thing. Your parents never got married." Which, I mean, that's common for people not to get married, but it's a diss. So he had to attack him in some way, which I get that. It's a rap battle. But he actually is replying to what he said. You see what I'm saying? He's actually bringing up his parents for a reason because we're talking about marriage now. Kendrick just was start talking about Drake's mom. He just the whole verse started Sandy. Like what? And the same thing with that. I didn't understand that. Well, I understand it and I get it. I just felt like this was a battle that for you to make a whole verse about a man's mom and dad, I don't know. I feel like you either have nothing else to talk about or you seen it work with Pusha T and you said, "Oh, I'm gonna do that because Pusha T did it." But let's keep going and see if we see any other similarities. He says, "Monkey suit, didn't you parade him? A Steve Harvey suit nigga made him." That was one of the hardest bars in the song. Here we go. Look, confused. Confused, always felt you weren't black enough, afraid to grow it because your fro wouldn't nap enough. Pusha T going at Drake about not being black enough. Where else have we seen that recently? From Kendrick. Every angle that Kendrick takes, we see it has already been done. It has already been done, y'all. So I personally feel like I said, and hey, this is no slight to Kendrick. If he took advantage of these things, good for him. If he's seen a chess move and he attacked, nothing wrong with that. But to me, I just seen similarities. I seen a lot of things that was already said, and it popped out to me. It is. I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't have to. Again, I'm not trying to sound like a know-it-all. A lot of lyrics and a lot of hip hop history is in my brain. It's in my mind. So as soon as I seen the angle that Kendrick was going, it just felt familiar. It felt familiar. All right. It just did. It felt familiar. And I could keep going. The whole thing about love that baby, respect that girl, forget she's a porn star, let her be your world. About loving and respecting women, even if y'all aren't on the best term. That's the same type of vibe Kendrick came with. That's the same type of vibe Kendrick came with. I'm just saying these are things that I felt and I later looked up, and it confirmed what I was thinking. It confirmed what I was thinking. But that's just me personally. That's just my personal opinion. Um, I understand most people won't feel this way. Most people aren't gonna feel like Kendrick deserves any less credit. And I'm not even saying that. I'm not saying he deserves any less credit. I'm not saying Drake won. I'm not saying Kendrick didn't win. I'm not saying Kendrick's songs wasn't good. I'm saying the timing that Kendrick chose made it easier for him to win. Kendrick already kind of had the people on his side. The timing and the blueprints. There's no blueprint on Kendrick. Kendrick doesn't engage with rappers like Drake. He just doesn't. Let's keep it real. Drake will diss anybody who he wants to. He might sneak diss him, but he's going to say shit where we know who he's talking about. Drake done diss Jay-Z. Drake done diss Diddy. Drake done diss Common. Obviously, Meek Mill, Pusha T, Pharrell. We can keep going. Kendrick don't be dissing nobody. Kendrick on Control. Kendrick dissed a bunch of younger niggas, and then he got in interviews and was kind of like downplaying, like, "Oh, it's just rap." Drake don't do that. Drake say what he say. If you like it, he don't give a fuck. Kendrick is not like that. Kendrick don't say people name. He doesn't diss people like that. And when he does, like I said, people have been talking about Control for 11 years like it's just something that he does often. He did that once, and on every interview he went on, he downplayed it. He talked, "Oh, it's just rap. I have respect for all these guys." You'll never hear Drake saying stuff like that. If he diss you, nigga, he diss you. It is what it is. That's just my opinion, though, man. Like I say, the timing and the blueprints is why Kendrick won. In my opinion, man. But I'm gonna wrap this up here. I'm going live later again, probably. Some other stuff was in the news, man. I'm not gonna get into it now, but it definitely going later with some Pod War stuff. Yeah, definitely going later with some Pod War stuff, man. But y'all get in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about this. Am I a hater, y'all? Let me know. I can handle comments. Trust me. People have done worse to me than comment. So I can handle the comments, man. Anything y'all got to say, let me know. Urban AI, strategic thinking media platform. I appreciate y'all watching. I'm not a Kendrick hater. I love Kendrick. I love Drake. This was the greatest hip hop battle I've ever seen. That's why I make so much content about it, and I'm gonna continue making content about it. Y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Urban AI, strategic thinking media platform. I'm gonna see y'all on the next episode. Peace.